The beginning of my life was simple and much like every other little life. I came, I saw, I conquered, as the first baby in the family always does. There was the usual amount of discussion on a name for me. The first baby in the family was not to be lightly named. Everyone was emphatic about that. My father suggested the name of Mildred Campbell. She was one of our highly esteemed ancestors. But in the excitement of carrying me to church, my father forgot the name on the way. When the church minister asked him for it, he gave the name Helen Adams. I showed many signs of an eager, self-asserting disposition when I was still a baby. I insisted upon imitating everything that I saw other people doing. At 6 months, I could pipe out, "Howdy." One day I attracted everyone's attention by saying T quite plainly. Even after my illness, I remembered one of the words I had learned in these early months. It was the word water. I continued to make some sound for that word after all other speech was lost. I stopped making the sound wah-wah only when I learned to spell the word. They tell me I walked the day I was a year old. My mother had just taken me out of the bathtub and was holding me in her lap. I was suddenly attracted by the flickering shadows of leaves that danced in the sunlight on the smooth floor. I slipped from my mother's lap and almost ran toward them. But the impulse was quickly gone. I fell down and cried for her to take me up in her arms. These happy days did not last long. Just 1 year, one brief spring, when the robin and the mockingbird sang their melodious songs, a summer with its blooming roses and fruits, an autumn with its golden fruits and shedding leaves. It happened in February, in the middle of winter. I was struck by the illness which closed both my eyes and ears forever. The doctor thought I would not live, but early one morning the fever left me. There was great rejoicing in the family that morning, but no one, not even the doctor, knew that I would never see or hear again. I fancy I still have confused memories of that illness. I especially remember the tenderness with which my mother tried to soothe me in my waking hours. I also remember the pain and confusion with which I woke up after a disturbed sleep. I turned my eyes away from the once loved light. But, except for these fleeting memories, it all seems very unreal, like a nightmare. Gradually, I got used to the silence and darkness that surrounded me. I forgot completely that it had all been very different. It was my teacher who changed everything and set my spirit free. But the first 19 months of my life had been different. I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky and trees and flowers. The darkness that followed could not wholly blot them out.